U.S. sent Iran a 15-point ceasefire proposal through Pakistan. Iran rejected that, and they sent out a 5-point plan, basically granting Tehran control over the Strait of Hormuz. That was also rejected. $2 million per voyage for any ships that want to pass through the strait. I was saying how the NASDAQ for the year is really only down like 1%, but the sector recently got dropped a lot and got taken down hard. Micron MU is down over 30% in the last 8 trading days. And that sell-off basically started the Sell the News event that happened on Google with the Google earnings, and it still sold off.
Almost 50% of the total circulating Bitcoin that people have purchased is underwater, meaning 50% of people that purchase Bitcoin as of today paid higher than what it's worth right now.
Sailor's only down $6 billion.
But still, 50%. I mean, they do say the people that are mostly selling Bitcoin right now is retail. Is this a bad thing? Yeah, it could be. I mean, we could go a lot lower, to be honest. Like, you know, who knows if any of these like retail buyers have any guts and don't see the vision. Who knows?
Where's the Clarity Act right now, and why is this kind of so important? Well, it got introduced in May 2025 to the House. In July of 2025, it passed the House, and then in January 2026, it was supposed to get voted by the Senate, and then it got pushed back March, and then they announced March 20th. Basically the last part of the Clarity Act that they were fighting about was the yield and staking part. Welcome back to another episode of The Market Take, breaking down what's happening around the world in the markets and in crypto.
And if you like being informed about this kind of stuff, please consider subscribing to our channel. And if you do watch our content and you're not sure if you're subscribed, please double check. A lot goes into making these videos, and we get super motivated when we see that people are interested. So yeah, thank you.
Guys, welcome back to another episode of The Market Take. It is March 30th. Q1 is almost over. 25% of the year is almost gone. It's nice to be back in Vegas. I just got back. It's nice to be back in the studio. The guys have made some amazing updates to the studio. Was pretty impressed when I walked in. There's a lot of changes outside of the camera, but we got a big episode today. And finally, it's not a big episode about world news. It's about stocks and crypto.
It's not. There's not much going on in the world today except for, you know, the standard, you know, Iran war stuff going on. So yeah, you know, like Arthur was saying, we're going to breeze through the world news kind of. And we're going to really hone in on some very important stock and crypto milestones that currently happen. You know, that is going to set the pace for the future going forward, I believe.
Yeah. So we want to start with world news? Because I got a lot of yapping to do today.
Yeah, man. We'll get through it. Guys, we are about to go to the moon, but are we going to land on the moon? No. NASA gears up for the Artemis 2 launch, which is set to take place no later than, launching as early as April 1st. You know, they tried launching previously before this, but there were some problems with the ship, like the hydrogen leak. But now they have fixed that, and they say the ship is ready to go. But it's going to be a lunar, they're basically going to fly around the moon a few laps.
But they're not going to land?
They're not going to land on it.
Because the moon landing was fake?
It's just, you know, man, I'm so perplexed by this because, like, why aren't we going to land? Like, why can't we just land on the moon?
We just don't have the tech, man.
What do you mean we don't have the tech? We had the tech back in 1972.
We never landed back then, man.
Which was the first moon landing.
We never landed back then.
Was that fake?
Why? Okay, if it was so real, why is there not like so many more like just more stuff about it, more sources? Like, yeah, like we've been on the moon.
Let me ask you a question. Do you believe the Russians landed on the moon?
You ain't trying to trick me. I think they had the better tech. I don't think they did either, bro.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't even know what to believe anymore. You know, everything we've come to believe is just starting to just become a lie, aside from the moon itself. But yeah, I mean, that's the kind of the exciting thing, I guess, that's going on. How does space? What's SpaceX's role in this? How does Elon feel about it? This isn't. They're really. Are they playing? Do you know if they're playing like a big role in it or not?
Who? SpaceX?
Yeah.
No.
Like not at all.
I mean, I know they have definitely provided some of the parts, but I don't think they're taking any like vital role into this because you remember it was Elon that actually wanted some of these contracts, and he thought he was going to get them, and then when push came to shove, he didn't get the contracts that he wanted.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that was one of the things that he was rage tweeting about when he was first like beefing with Trump a few months back.
Yeah. I know. SpaceX is gearing up for like their IPO too, like huge IPO.
We gotta mute this mic here. Server mute. Got it.
And who knows if that played a role in that as well. But yeah, you got that coming up, and then as you guys heard on the news, we have started sending a lot of troops into the Middle East. And in that region, we're, close to Iran, about 3,500 troops to be exact. Polymarket says there is a 71% chance that we go boots on the ground by April 30th. 71%, that's a pretty high percentage on the Polymarket.
I'm gonna make some touch points about the about more troops on the ground as well, and kind of what's going on with oil when I get into Iran. But yeah, I don't see stuff de-escalating right now based on what's going on.
If we move that many troops in that area, I mean, dude, this could very easily turn into a years-long operation. And I'm talking like multiple years-long operation. And how is that going to affect oil? I'm sure Arthur's going to touch on that. However, Trump did show some leeway in their current policy because they just recently allowed a Russian oil tanker to go to Cuba because of Cuba's crisis right now with their energy crisis. They did allow a Russian oil tanker to pass and deliver oil, which before was like their policy and their sanctions say that's a strict no-go. But I guess that kind of gives people the sliver of hope a little bit. But yeah, man, I mean to be honest, this isn't even about oil anymore. That's just a byproduct of what's going on here. I mean, we all know it's for a regime change and to destabilize the area more than it already is. So I don't know, we'll see how it plays out. I'm not a big fan of this at all. Again, this is something that we just got lied straight to our faces about with wars and everything. This is going to be a bigger conflict than I think it's going to be bigger than what we did in Iraq and what we did in Afghanistan. Yeah, not a big fan about it. What do you think?
I have so much what I want to say, but it's gonna like take away from the points that I want to make on my Iran war topics and the stock topics. But yes, this could potentially be this could be more catastrophic. I don't think military action wise, but more catastrophic for the citizens if we go into a recession and oil continues to spike, because oil is I think around like 104, 105. If it gets to 120s and then like I said it goes to 140s to 150s, that's a recession, and we're not far away from that.
And speaking of like recession and everything, and like just to kind of rub salt in the wounds, you want to know how much we spent on this already? On how much the military spent on this already?
Rub some more salt on.
$18 billion.
Of course it did.
And guess what? They went to Congress to get an approval of an additional $200 billion for this as well. So, while our economy is really getting choked and squeezed, pause.
Weird choice.
They're trying to print money out of thin air to fund this thing. But yeah, not ideal, not great. Don't like it. I think there could have been a totally more effective and different way going about this, being in a more strategic, kinetic manner instead of full blown warfare. But yeah, guys, next thing, dude.
So someone had a sweet tooth, huh?
Who the hell steals 12 tons of Kit Kats, man?
Yeah, guys, just to cheer up the mood a little bit, someone stole 12 tons of Kit Kat bars, over 400,000 bars, which is not worth that much. It's like it's $500,000.
Well, this is a little bit more evil than people are realizing. This is happening right before Easter.
Oh, it's the great Kit Kat shortage of Easter.
All I could think of is what's the reason of stealing these Kit Kat bars? Now, if you look of where these are like European Kit Kat bars, and we all know here in the US that foreign snacks is a very hot market right now. A lot of shops are starting to bring in foreign snacks from all over the globe, and with there being reciprocal tariffs or something, or some sort of heavy tax now on products like that, I wonder if it's like a supplier.
But I mean, but Kit Kats are pretty they're all over Europe though.
They are all over Europe, but they have like all the crazy different flavors too. They have like different like flavors that
Asia does, especially, all the
and
flavors.
Asia, flavors that are in Europe that aren't here in the US.
Do we know if it was just regular because it was going to Poland and to the rest of Europe? I'm
sure they were like
if it was the cool Japanese ones, because those go for expensive everywhere.
Yeah, those are pretty expensive. But I could only imagine they didn't really specify what flavors they were, but I could only specify that they were kind of Easter exclusive Kit Kats, probably.
Whoa, okay, wait. So I just saw the shipment was stolen and was described as a 12-ton load of new Formula One themed Kit Kat bars.
Ooh.
Okay, I thought Formula, but no, Formula One themed Kit Kat bars.
Really?
Oh, okay. Yep. Dude, I got a picture of it right here. Can we show the cam this or what? Can we zoom in like that? Pretty neat.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So maybe these bad boys were selling for way more than just your normal $1.
And maybe they're European exclusive. But my point being is maybe it's a supplier for these shops in the US getting a hold of them somehow or something like that to sell right here in the US. But what's interesting, I didn't know this, but I guess you could trace these Kit Kat bars to see if they're stolen or not. They come with some kind of code, but Nestle said it was possible to trace the stolen goods by scanning the unique batch codes found on each bar. If a match is found, say if a retailer scans it, it gives them super clear instructions on how to report it to Kit Kat, and they'll go and they report it appropriately from there.
I mean, it would be a lot easier to. It would be a lot harder to catch them if it was just normal Kit Kat bars, right? Because you could just blend them in slowly. But I mean, these are a completely different branding, a completely different how are you not going to know?
Yeah, I know. But I mean, is it all of the Formula One bars or is it just a batch of them?
Who knows? Maybe. I don't know.
12 tons of it. But they said each bar's got their own code, which is
crypto is down so bad you got to steal the Kit Kat,
which is very high tech.
Bars. What's really in those boxes?
Honestly, what's really in those boxes is what's really in Tiger Woods' box.
Oh man!
I mean, that sounded weird, but guys, Tiger Woods got arrested for another DUI.
Everyone's getting DUI.
Let me tell you,
Justin Timberlake just got a crazy DUI.
But I'll tell you what though, it wasn't alcohol.
What was it?
He actually blew 000s, man. But he declined to take the urinalysis test.
It was definitely Tootsie. That's what all these celebs are doing. That maybe, pink dust.
Yeah, something that you ingest that's not alcohol. Yeah, he blew triple zeros, but he denied to take the urine test, which is obviously going to show narcotics. But yeah, I mean, guys, this is a regular Sunday for Tiger Woods. If I'm keeping it a buck, he's infamous. First of all, respect to the GOAT. Guy's the greatest golfer of all time. Can't take that away from him. But the guy likes to party, man. He likes to party. He likes to let loose. He likes to dance. He likes to get in his whip after a few too many, whatever the hell he's taken. And he likes to flip that shit. He likes to flip it. He likes to flip the car. You
remember when we were teenagers and getting blasted at that golf tournament and I flipped the golf cart?
Oh, yeah. Dude, I get it though. Like I honestly, I really do get it. You want to know why? 'Cause it's just that atmosphere. When you're on the green, you got the golf carts, the nice weather, you got, I don't know. You got
beautiful caddies.
You got caddies. You got beautiful girls walking around. You got the smell of the grass, like it's the fresh cut grass. It makes you want to have a couple cocktails, and it makes you want to flip a golf cart. It makes you want to get into a brand new Range Rover and flip it on its roof.
Why did you say Range Rover?
I think it was Range Rover. Was it not?
No, I thought you were saying that because of my car.
Nah. But yeah, I mean, so yeah, that happened, and guys, that's where we're at in the news. Like that's like a big headline.
Yeah. Anyway, I mean, there's some more stuff. I don't know if you want to just fire off, but we should get into stocks here.
Yeah, we will in a little bit. But yeah, I kind of wanted to touch on this next topic though, because like me and you both actually relate to it. Well, not so much you because you were born out of the country, but I was born in the country. But while my dad was still not a citizen yet, right? So right now, if you guys forgot, Trump was trying to take away birthright citizenship, right? So, and it's been denied by lower courts back and forth, and now it's in the Supreme Court. And on April 1st, they're going to start having oral arguments on, whether it's unconstitutional or not constitutional, but it's basically like getting to that point where like a judgment's going to be made, or like.
How far back will it go though? Like last 2-3 years?
So that's not.
There was a lot of crime.
There's no law yet. It's just like it's being argued, but people are worried that it's going to be retroactive, right? Like how retractive though?
Right. It can't be like crazy retroactive.
I know. Like I'm 33. Like I don't know. Like what if they? I doubt they're gonna have some like crazy rule like saying like if you were born here but your parents were not citizens yet, you're no longer a citizen regardless of how long back. That would be crazy, and I would honestly I would protest. Protest. I don't know.
I would protest with you, pal.
But yeah, I mean, I don't like this, man. I really don't, dude. On a larger grand scheme of things, and like, I guarantee if like your parents had the chance to, right, they would choose to like birth you here in the United States. Along with a lot of other immigrant families as well. Could be because like,
Yeah, but you're saying that only applies because what your father wasn't a citizen, was not a citizen at the time that he had you here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's what they mean. Like,
right.
That's what birthright citizenship is. Like if somebody is in the U.S. but they have a kid, right, and they're not a citizen, but their kid's born here, they're automatically a citizen. Yeah. And like, dude, I mean, yeah, it's just, I've personally,
well, a lot of countries like Japan, if you're just born in Japan, like you don't get automatic citizenship. If you're born in China because your parents are in China for a month, you don't get automatic citizenship.
Yeah.
A lot of countries do that. All of the UAE does that. That's like really, really common. But to take that back for people, it's
in our Constitution.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too fond of it. I honestly think you are a product of your environment, and if you could bring somebody into a better environment from a hostile environment, I'm all for it. Not to sound left or anything, I just think that's on a humanitarian aspect, to be honest. And dude, I feel like me personally, dude, I feel like babies with or kids that have immigrant parents turn out to be better humans, better people, better morals.
Whoa, everyone matters.
Can you disagree with it? Can you not?
I mean, I'm an immigrant and I'm amazing, but that doesn't mean everyone else isn't.
I mean, yeah, there's one or two bad seeds. But
I think there's definitely the case that most people that immigrate here work harder generally because they got to work their ass off to come here in the first place.
Yeah,
for sure.
And you don't think that that mentality doesn't flood into the genes?
Yeah, I mean that's cool, but if you come here illegally and then all of a sudden you have a baby here, like I don't think, You
don't think what?
Your baby shouldn't be a citizen either.
Mm. Yeah, I get your argument. Like, let me, for example, like,
okay, like someone just like breaks in like 3 months ago, has a baby here. That baby shouldn't be a citizen.
Yeah, I get. Okay, I get what you're saying. Like, if it's like in a short, like obvious, like time frame like that. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know. Actually, I don't know how I feel about it. I guess it's like a case by case basis, right? Like if you're doing it nefariously, like I'm gonna, whatever. But I feel like if you go through the proper channels and the right path to citizenship, and you have a kid during that process, I think your baby deserves birthright citizenship.
Yeah, if you're going through the proper path, so yeah, of course.
Yeah, but this would take that away.
Why would this take away if you're doing the proper thing, you're going the proper route to get citizenship? Why would that take it away?
To get rid of this whole thing that's in court, it would take that away regardless. It doesn't matter. It's getting rid of birthright citizenship regardless.
Yeah, but somebody coming into the country doing all the right stuff and then needs to become a citizen, and then when they have kids, then they can become a citizen as well. Like my dad became a citizen first, and then 3 years later we were able to become citizens, and then we came.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, for example, my case, right? Like, my dad was on his path to citizenship when he had me. He wasn't a citizen yet, but I was born here. I was born in the United States. He's from Italy. You know this. That to me is okay.
But he was on the proper path to citizenship, right? Okay, but people that just come into the country illegally are not on any proper, like, okay, for my dad, okay, he couldn't just come here. I mean, he came here properly with a visa. He was not a citizen right away. Like, that takes a lot of time, right? That's different. If you're coming here illegally, not getting the visa to be here, and then you have a baby, no shot.
No, I see your argument on that. What I'm saying is,
yes, I see the change now. They're making the change where even if you come here legally and you have your visa and you're getting ready to apply for this citizenship, and you have a kid, that kid is technically not a citizen. That's what's changing.
Yes, it's going to take it away completely.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they would need to amend that to make that an exception.
Well, fucking vote against it. There you go.
I'm just.
Everyone can vote.
I'm just shooting. I mean, now it's in court. I don't think you can vote for it anymore. But yeah.
Devin says, "How's the stock market looking?" Yeah, man. Let's get in the stock market. So, all right, guys. So it is no. It's no news that the stock market is in correction territory. Dow Jones is down. The S&P 500 is down. S&P is down over 7% this year. NASDAQ is only down 1% this year, but the tech sector took massive hits, which I will discuss. And a lot of what's going on in the market right now is really just based on what's going on with the Iran war, with what's going on with the Strait, if there's going to be de-escalation or more escalation, and kind of what's going on with oil. So even though Trump is talking and posting on his truth socials that there's a lot of de-escalations, like we saw the other week when Trump just fake pumped a market saying, hey, I just spoke to Iran and everything is okay. And then Iran says, hey, none of that ever happened. I was dead just talking to you the whole time for 10 minutes. You just, fuck, I'll just look at my laptop. All right. So even though Trump is saying,
are you talking?
Yes, I was just talking to you for like 10 minutes, buddy.
I thought you were talking to the crowd. I don't know. Shit.
So Noah's over here laughing. Well, now I have to look down and read my exact points, but I'm going to read them to you. So, U.S. sent Iran a 15-point ceasefire proposal through Pakistan. Iran rejected that, and they sent out a 5-point plan, basically granting Tehran control over the Strait of Hormuz. That was also rejected. Mm-hmm. And then the Financial Times reported that Trump wants to take oil and that U.S. forces could seize Iran's export hubs on Karg Island. That shook up the market some more. Mm-hmm. And then Iran, I guess, started charging $2 million per voyage for any ships that want to pass through the strait. Just basically like extortion toll, basically. In like one of the most important waterways. And then we had Iranian airstrikes hit 2 major Middle East aluminum smelters, which guess what, dude? Another stock sector to check out, guys. Basically, this smelter that they hit takes up 9% of the global aluminum supply, and they bombed it. So maybe check out aluminum stocks, maybe look at those precious metals, not gold and silver, but aluminum, because guess what? 9% of the global supply just got bombed.
What about copper? How's copper doing? How's copper being affected in this?
I don't know. I didn't study copper. I studied what got bombed and what was affected.
I just didn't know if copper and aluminum were made in the same laboratory.
I'm not sure.
Smelter.
The smelter. And then just like Justin said earlier, thousands of additional U.S. troops are arriving in the region. So basically kind of what it's all coming down to is if we reopen the strait, if de-escalation happens, and as that continues to not happen, the market continues to sell off. But of course, oil is running. So crude today hits $103, getting dangerously close to the 120 plus recession level. It's the highest close we had since July 2024. So if like I said, if oil hits 120, we could trigger a recession. And then we have Vanguard, we have Asus Management, we have Goldman Sachs, also all saying the same thing. If if oil is around 140, 150, recession is inbound. But like I said, if we get oil to 120, that's already going to start to hit it pretty damn hard. And if you guys remember when we just started to talk about, this was, I believe, on the March 9th episode, when we were discussing if the strait is closed for 10 to 12 weeks, that's probably going to put oil at 120 to 140 range. We've been closed for 5 weeks. We're halfway there.
Real quick and very quickly too, remind everybody why 120 is the crucial level where it could turn everything upside down.
Because that's just going to increase the price for fertilizer, shipping, and gas so much that it's going to make everything just so much more expensive. Literally everything. There's not going to be something that's not touched.
It's going to literally stall everything.
It's going to destroy us.
You guys hear that, right? You heard it. Just a reminder. You heard it here first. Okay. Anyways, go on.
Yeah. So that's what's going on with oil. Like I said, we settled at 102.88 today. 120 is going to get really scary. If you guys are shorting the markets, that's awesome. But like I said, also in that episode, we can make money shorting the market, but if we do come into a recession, a lot of families will be affected. A lot of homes will be affected. So it's nothing to be cheering on about. I have to post like gains and stuff like that, but if you got people around you that might be suffering, maybe chill on posting gains if we go into a recession, because it's gonna hurt a lot of people, and the state of the average U.S. citizen right now is terrible.
Not great at all. Terrible. Everyone's hurting.
Yeah.
They might not even show it, but they're feeling it. I can promise you, they're feeling it.
And then Fed Chair Powell actually spoke at Harvard today. The one good thing he said is that interest rates are in a good place, and the Fed will wait and see to see how the energy situation plays out. And then he signaled that the Fed will not raise rates to fight oil-driven inflation. So if oil causes the inflation to go up, they won't raise rates. I guess we'll see. I know it sounds like a lot of doom and gloom right now, but I will talk about something that could potentially change the entire route of the market. But let's talk about some more doom first. So, semiconductors got destroyed. So I was saying how the NASDAQ for the year is really only down like 1%, but the sector recently got dropped a lot and got taken down hard. Micron MU is down over 30% in the last 8 trading days. And that sell-off basically started with the sell the news event that happened on Google with the Google earnings, and it still sold off. And then everything else started selling off. And then we had the NVIDIA earnings at the end, and then that was a sell the news event, and then it just destroyed the rest of the market.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, of course.
Guys, if you haven't been paying attention to the newsletter, aside from watching the market take, I've personally mentioned Micron like for the past like 2 months and what it's been doing and everything. Well, it's like it's pairing up to what Arthur was saying. So my point being is you definitely could have gained some knowledge from the newsletters. I know you guys might brush them off or whatever, but those newsletters are actually pretty powerful. Anyways, continue.
Yeah. SanDisk, like one of the best performers, even better than NVIDIA. SanDisk went from $60 to $777 in under 1 year. But that thing is getting slowly destroyed. It's around 600 now. It lost 7% today. Intel lost 4% today. Taiwan Semi lost 3% today. NVIDIA lost 1.4% today. And NVIDIA is now in official bear territory because it's fallen over 20% from all-time highs. So once you've fallen over 20% from all-time highs, you're no longer a correction. You're in bear territory, and NVIDIA is at 20%. I'm sorry, 21%. So the rotation is real, guys. Tech and growth are getting hammered, while energy and utilities are hitting all-time highs.
You should be licking your chops, guys. You honestly should.
Licking the chops. And I know, prediction market selling is a huge thing right now. So I want to give you guys some more recession odds, because Fody, you said poly markets is 72% recession.
No, I didn't say recession. 71% chance for boots on the ground by April 30th.
I apologize. Got it. Well,
yeah.
Moody's is saying 48% chance of recession in the next 12 months. William Trust is saying 45%. Goldman Sachs is saying 30%. EY Parthenon, I've actually never heard of this company, is saying 40% chance of recession. We're not in a recession yet, but the chances of getting there are pretty goddamn close. It's real.
You feel it.
Feeling it in my bones.
Yeah.
Inflation. Oof. Other big notable moves, right, guys? Like I said, energy and utility sector are hitting all-time highs while tech and growth get hammered. Energy sector is up 33%. XLE was the ETF that I mentioned. when we were talking about the sector rotation a few months ago. If you guys go back to that ETF episode, S&P 500 down 7%. SpaceX is reportedly preparing for a mid-2026 IPO with a $1.75 trillion evaluation, which is a bigger evaluation than Tesla right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. And then senators are reportedly to close a deal to fund DHS except ICE, which could ease TSA airport chaos. It's about time because traveling has been a god dang nightmare.
Well, you're speaking on that too. I mean, at this current moment, like literally today and yesterday, Trump told the DHS to start allocating like ICE funds to TSA to start back paying them, which they've been doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, they need to open up. Like this is so insane. Like
what? You guys are on a government shutdown, except you guys are getting paid. The people that make the choices about the government being shut down are getting paid, but all the people that are suffering are not getting paid. So you go on a paid vacation while everyone that basically works for the whole damn country is getting not paid. Screw
dude,
you.
The fact that you have to that you have to have an agreement on how you're going to fund national security is mind blowing to me.
And then you take a vacation when you can't decide, like, never mind.
Yeah, that's so nuts. That's so crazy.
Yeah. So overall picture, this market's pretty much being held hostage by oil and Iran. Powell just told you that the Fed isn't going to. Was that just a funny sentence or something?
No, like,
or do you just swallow some spit?
No, I was like a sneeze and a cough at the same time. I don't know.
The market's held hostage by oil and Iran. Powell just said that the Fed isn't going to increase rates. Tech is getting crushed. Energy is the only winner. If you guys positioned yourselves in fertilizer and the energy plays that we've been talking about pretty much all year, they're still working. If you're heavy in tech and growth, it's been a painful month for sure. But hey, there's always a rotation. And guess what always comes back harder than any other sector in the world? Tech. Always tech. And if you think tech is going anywhere with what's happening in tech, you're out of your mind. So find your favorite tech stocks, tech ETFs, and DCA, not financial advice. That's just what I'm going to be doing. And then the question that everyone's asking, is it time to buy the dip? I think it's always time to DCA on the way down.
That's why I said you should be licking your chops right now. Like, dude, this is like, I mean, we preach about this like literally every single year. But like, I know we're really putting the fear in you right now. But like, this is that textbook time to like seriously start loading up and DCing into like the known big tech runners, the big cryptos, right? Like what I'm about to tell you on Bitcoin right now before Arthur goes on his crypto tear in a little bit. Like I'm gonna induce more fear in you guys. But all this means is bye. Right? Like, I'll tell you right now, almost 50% of 50% of the total circulating Bitcoin that people have purchased is underwater. Meaning 50% of people that purchase Bitcoin as of today paid higher than what it's worth right now.
Sailor's only down 6 billion.
But still, 50%. I mean, they do say the people that are mostly selling Bitcoin right now is retail. Is this a bad thing? Yeah, it could be. I mean, we could go a lot lower, to be honest. Like, you know, who knows if any of these like retail buyers have any guts and don't see the vision. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Also, miners, man. Miners are really hurting. There's a lot of small time miners that are really underwater and are just offloading all their Bitcoin because they have Mara, being one of the biggest miners, just sold 15K BTC. They're below their break-even price. MicroStrategy, they were on a 13-week straight buying spree. You would imagine like the Bitcoin company where their whole ethos is hold, you know, buy and hold Bitcoin forever. Would be buying in a time like this, right? Continuously, because the average is really good. However, I mean, they got to do a little bit of risk management. So they've stopped buying their 13. They stopped buying after their 13-week straight of buying. However, BMNR made their largest ETH purchase in 1 week this past week of a total of 71,179 ETH. That's a lot of freaking ETH. Now, on the contrary, guys, I know this is very grim of what I just said, but on the contrary, Bitcoin whales, I see all your typing in here, but on the contrary, I'm trying to go back to my points, but on the contrary, guys, during this downtrend, while everybody's selling, while everybody's, panicking, panic selling, giving up, whales have bought over 61K BTC over the past month. What does that tell you, Art? What does that tell you?
Accumulation.
They've been doing what they've been doing. What
they've always been doing. The same cycles.
So don't worry, guys. If you think Bitcoin is going to disappear off the map, then all right, then don't buy crypto. But I think differently. Anyways, hit it, Art. Tell people why you need to just be in crypto all the time.
All right, guys. So, anyone remember the Clarity Act? I touched up on this a little bit last episode, and I said this was going to be the thing that really sets the tone for what happens the rest of the year in crypto. So let's really dissect this, and we're going to take a good 20 minutes or so as soon as I mute Ken. Where's Ken? I don't see anyone.
I see Ken. Mute him.
He's muted.
Send him to the Shadow Realm.
He's muted.
All right,
guys. So what's the Clarity Act? It is the Digital Asset Market Clarity Act. It is the most comprehensive piece of crypto regulation to ever pass the Chamber of Commerce. It draws the legal line between the SEC and the CFTC for every digital asset in the United States. For anyone that does not know what the my bad, I just lost my scroll. For everyone that does not know what the CFTC is, it's a Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and I'm sure you guys all know what the SEC is. It's the Securities and Exchange Commission. So these have been the two agencies that have been fighting over crypto. So the easiest way that I can explain the situation that's been going on is imagine there's two different referees trying to officiate the same game, and they have different rules. So let's say me and you were playing football. There's two referees, and both of them have different rules about how we can play.
Yeah.
So that's what's been going on. Okay. So the SEC, they regulate securities, right? They regulate stocks, bonds, investment contracts. And if something is a security, you need to register it. You need to file disclosures, follow strict rules. There's SEC filings. And the SEC has been super aggressive with crypto. Under Gary Gensler, they sued Coinbase, they sued Binance, they sued Ripple, Kraken, and tons of other securities. So what was going on? It was basically regulation by enforcement. Crypto coins, crypto companies didn't know they were breaking the rule until the SEC came down on them and said, "Hey, you're breaking this rule." We actually saw this with the cannabis industry too. That's why it was so hard the first. That's why it was so hard the first few years. We were all of these cannabis companies. They were opening up dispensaries or even lounges. If you remember a while back, I actually wanted to open a consumption lounge in downtown Las Vegas.
I remember that.
But the rules kept changing every year. So all these lounges were getting hit with stuff, and they didn't know because the same stuff was happening. It was basically a regulation by enforcement. Something is so new that there's actually no laws, and then when they make laws, they come and they basically tell you that, hey, you're breaking the law. Yeah. And then the CFTC, which is the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, they regulate commodities. They regulate oil, gold, wheat, and basically all futures and derivatives market. And they've always been friendlier towards crypto. They basically said that Bitcoin is a commodity since 2015, and the oversight is way lighter when it comes to the CFTC. So, so what the problem is now is that's what's made these companies kind of not know what to do, is because there's, like I said, two different referees telling them, hey, these are the rules. No, these are the rules. No, Bitcoin is a security. No, Bitcoin is a commodity. So here's where the good stuff happens now. Okay. All right. So the Clarity Act is going to be the one that basically gives the exact guidelines for all this. And what's written in the Clarity Act is that most tokens like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Sol, XRP, ADA, AVAX, Doge, DOT, Link, HBAR, LTC, and SHIB, and so on, these are all going to be a commodity. Okay. So which coins stay a security? So you have to think of it like this, right? When we're buying stocks like Amazon, right? We're buying the stock because we're expecting that company to build and the team to grow the business. If they grow the business, that grows the price of the stock. That would be that makes it a security, right? So what stays as security for the world of crypto? So if the team creates a new token and says, hey, invest in our token, we're going to build this amazing platform and your token will go up. That's exactly like buying a stock or like a startup. So you're giving them money, they're doing the work, and you're expecting the profit basically for their efforts, pretty much just like a stock, right? Those are the rules under the SEC.
Yeah.
But Bitcoin, they don't have a CEO, right? Mm-hmm. They have no promise to make it grow up. Now, even though Ethereum has a CEO, it's Vitalik. Ethereum gains its value from network utility, not from Vitalik's management.
Yeah.
So Solana's value comes from the people building on it, and the value is driven by the network supply and demand, and not the team's actual managerial efforts. That is not what is making the token price go up. It's the token's network being used, volume, just like Hype has crazy volume. That's why Hype is going up. So the the quick cheat sheet to how to know, it's basically working network. If it's decentralized, if the value is from the usage, it's a commodity. If the team is raising money and they're building some kind of platform or product, then it's a security. Okay.
Before you go on, by any chance, did you see the classifications that they did together, the SEC and the CFTC, that we went over last week?
Which classifications exactly?
This exactly, where they like laid out how all these crypto tokens are going to be like digital assets, period, commodities. What does the SEC look under, which would be tokenized equities, what we're talking about, NFTs, or digital artwork, or staking and stuff like that. They put out like a huge classification on how all of those would be looked after, what the CFTC will look after, and what the SEC will look after.
Yep. Yeah. So it's anything that is as a security goes under SEC. Any coin that is a commodity goes under the CFTC. Yeah. So the other one too that we got clarity on is for DeFi, basically developers. So the ones that made the platforms. For example, like they made the code for Uniswap. And then they just released it, but then the protocol runs on its own. They're not gaining any actual value from it. So why does this all matter, right? So let's go exactly to where we are right now with it. Oh, and then the other big thing too that this does. So this also forces it to where exchanges do not hold customer funds and exchange funds in the same wallet. That makes it mandatory. And that's what caused the FTX problem, the Three Arrows problem, and right now there is no exact regulation saying that, hey, you have to keep your customers' funds separated from your actual funds. But with the Clarity Act, if that does push through, it'll make it mandatory that happens. So, but that also makes anti-money laundering mandatory and KYC mandatory, and we are going to see more increased regulations over a lot of the crypto platforms, especially the platforms that are based in the US. So where's the Clarity Act right now, and why is this kind of so important? Well, it got introduced in May 2025 to the House. In July of 2025, it passed the House. And then in January 2026, it was supposed to get voted by the Senate, and then it got pushed back to March. And then they announced March 23rd. March 20th. The last part of the Clarity Act that they were fighting about was the yield and staking part. So basically, what the battle there is that if you're staking your coins and it's locked up, and you're staking it to help the network. So because that's seen as a function of crypto, that staking will be different compared to yielding on your stable coins. Because if you put your money, let's say, into USDC, right, and that earns a 3 to 4% yield, then that's going to be treated as a security, and then all the banks are all obviously fighting this because the banks are offering like less than 1%.
They can't offer 3,
right,
4. They're not competitive with it.
So that's a huge fight right now, because technically if you're just yielding your stable coins, you could pull out at any time, plus you're gaining that percentage. If you're staking, even though you do get a yield, and some of these coins have yields of 10, 15%, that's seen as a function of crypto. So that's why it's being treated differently. And that's why the stock coin fell like 20% just the other week when all this was going on, that fight.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but a few months back, I think I talked about this too. But I think because there's liquid staking too, right? Where you're taking you're taking a token and you're exchanging it for another token, a token that yields. So you still have something with you still have like a tangible token in return of your other token,
right?
But the SEC came out and specifically said that those weren't securities. But I don't know how that would tie in with this, because that is strictly that to me is strictly a crypto function as well, because that's that's
what, yielding,
it's liquid staking,
and
how those earn yield.
But is it liquid staking stable, or is it liquid staking everything else?
What do you mean by
So they're saying if it's a stable coin, that's a stable coin yield. So it's not the same as a staking. So that's the big fight for them.
Gotcha.
Because if you stake any coin that's not a stable coin, that's allowed.
Okay. Yeah, because usually when you liquid stake, it's not. I don't even think liquid staking stablecoins is a thing. But usually when you liquid stake something, it's like we'll call it here now a commodity token.
Yeah.
Like you get a liquid stake SOL or a liquid staked ETH token, and not necessarily a stablecoin.
Yeah. So, crap. Let me try to run through this because we are kind of running on time here. So, let me just do a quick blast through. So why does it matter if crypto is a commodity? It's much easier to launch an ETF if it's a commodity. Way easier. It's also cost less because there's basically a lot of less paperwork. There's less quarter filings, there's less audits, there's less commodity oversight. But that doesn't mean it's any less safe or any less secure. Like I said, this will increase anti-money laundering laws and KYC registration. Exchanges will stop getting sued now because all the exchanges were getting sued because the SEC was classifying things. They were classifying tokens as securities. And so basically every exchange that was listing tokens, they were potentially committing a crime. And that's why we saw Coinbase, Binance, and Kraken all get sued. Institutional money gets unlocked, guys. This is the huge one right here. Massive. So listen to this. Banks, pension funds, we know how big the both of those are, and insurance companies, we know how big that is. All three of them in their compliance departments do not let them touch any asset that has unclear legal status. So like I said, crypto was either being judged by the SEC or the CFTC. So that said, hey, this is unclear registration, unclear legal status. We don't know this. So banks, pension funds, and insurance could not touch crypto at all. So if the Clarity Act passes, which is it's going to be voted into in April, banks, pension funds, and insurance companies can now invest in crypto, which they were not able to do so. It will make staking safe. It will say that the SEC no longer views staking as securities. But like I said, if it's stable coins, then it is a security. But if it's anything else that's not a stable coin, it is not a security. DeFi developers, the people that made the code, they're now safe. Less fear from the SEC if the Clarity Act passes. So big stuff if the Clarity Act passes, and the vote is in April. So let's talk really quick about how price action moves. Noah, do you guys have anyone after us? No? All right, cool. So let's talk really quick how legislation price action moves, okay? When the Genius Act was passed in May 2025, BTC was around 97 to 100K. When the Senate passed it, it bumped BTC up to 105, 108K. And then when the House voted on both the Genius Act and the Clarity Act, not the House, the Senate, Bitcoin hit 122K. This was on July 14th, which was a new all-time high at that time, okay? Now, when the Genius Act did not pass the Senate, crypto went back down, right? So the Clarity Act, what happened with the Clarity Act? It made Bitcoin hit an all-time high of 2025 when the House passed it. And then when the Genius Act didn't pass the Senate, that was also right around that time, and that caused the market to dip. And how it's happened with every time with these new regulations is leading up to the news, there's a run up, right? Just like when there's earnings, there's a run up or something like that. And then once the news happens, there's a sell off, and then there's a consolidation. And then when the other bit of the news happens, there's either a rip to the upside. Now, if it doesn't pass the Senate, then we can definitely think about going way back down to the downside. So, how we can play out these scenarios, all right? And then this will wrap it up. There was a few other things too that I want to talk about, but it's not that important. So let's just talk about the two scenarios that can happen, bullish or bearish, right? So the bullish scenario, if the Clarity Act passes, the Senate Banking Committee markup targeted for the second half of April. So April to the second half of April. If it clears the committee, we'll need 60 votes from the Senate to pass. And then if it happens, then it goes right back to Trump's desk. We know that Trump will pass this easy. The Ripple CEO puts the odds of this passing 80 to 90%. Polymarket shows that this is going to pass 72%. So if this is signed, expect institutional inflows to accelerate crazy. And because crypto will be a commodity, it'll be so much easier to get an ETF approved. We could actually see pudgy penguin ETF then. If this happens.
Yeah.
So ETF applications will flood the market, man. Now, the bearish scenario,
talk to me.
If Coinbase keeps blocking and the yield compromise fails, because remember, Coinbase holds the U.S. Government's reserve, so they actually have a big vote in this. And Coinbase is trying to block it because Coinbase doesn't want their U.S. DC stablecoin to be pegged as a security because of the stable thing. So Coinbase is actually fighting this like crazy right now.
Yeah.
So if this doesn't pass before Congress goes to recess, it's dead until 2027, guys. So if this doesn't happen in April, you can pretty much damn bet that it's going to be a bear market for the rest of the year until 2027, because it's not going to be brought back up until 2027. So the markets are going to stay range bound. If not fall even more, Bitcoin to 58K wouldn't be surprising. Bitcoin is holding right now. I think what's going to happen is the real test here is what's going to happen in April, which we're just weeks away because it's barely hanging on by a thread. If we're talking trend, Bitcoin is bearish as hell right now in trend. Mm-hmm. So, that's going to be the ruling. And then if, that's really it. That's going to be the two scenarios for the year.
That was deep, dude.
Yeah.
A little too deep. Just kidding. But it was deep. Good, but like, guys, if you haven't realized yet that this is tying into like why me personally, Arthur personally, will never give up on crypto. We don't let these little bear markets scare us. And, this happens every bear cycle. You hear the same thing worded in a different way of how crypto will never return. But, it's stuff like this that makes you, foresight that and just, and not get shaken out and scared.
Yeah. So my market take is the Clarity Act is the single most important piece of legislation for crypto right now. More important than the Genius Act, because this one covers everything and not just stablecoins like the Genius Act did. Mm-hmm. And the price action we saw from the Genius Act tells you exactly what's going to happen if this legislation passes. We went from 109K to 122K in 1 week, and we saw $2.2 billion in ETF inflow in 2 days, and then it got rejected. So, and then the total market cap for the ETF crossed 4 trillion, which was more than the market cap for Bitcoin. So now imagine the same energy, but for the entire market structure, not just stablecoins.
Mm. Nice.
That's my market take.
That was a good market take, man. That was a really good market take. I say we end on that note.
Yep. That's all we got, guys. Oh, yeah. And TRX is bullish as hell. Look at that weekly itchy.
If you were shafted by FTX, I think you're getting paid this week.
Whoa.
Yeah. Or today. Literally tomorrow and today. So, yeah. Check that. I think Kraken is facilitating the funds mainly. Morgan Stanley to launch Bitcoin ETF with the lowest fees. Kalshi set to offer, here's some degenerate shit right here, levered prediction betting. And Hong Kong can force travelers to unlock BTC wallets. So I'll never be visiting there ever.
The Hong Kong and Tijuana or the Hong Kong and China?
The one in China. Well, yeah.
All right. So we'll still visit the one in Tijuana?
Yeah, dude.
Tight.
Kidding me? My stepsister works there. What? All right, yeah, that's it, guys.
All right, guys.
Catch you
Peace
later.
out, everybody. Thank you for the market take. It was going to get real unhinged.